interruption in between, but I think we're back. And so, first of all, friends, I don't have any slides, so we can go as we talk. I hardly use slides in my life, only in board meetings where my bosses wanted to know the numbers. They wanted to have 3 slides. So I never developed the habit of making slides. In fact, I'm pretty bad at doing slides. So coming to the IT, what are the major IT trends that will rule the years to come? It's a very interesting topic because usually the technology is perceived with IT. Though technology is in every sphere of life, but what NASA does in quantum dynamics doesn't touch you and my life. It might be a much higher piece of technology in the pedestal. But what is important is the amount of technology which is touching your life, my life, and a person's life in Africa, to America, to Aligarh. That is what I call as a technology touching our lives. And if you look at the technology paradigm, IT is the only thing which touches our lives pretty much everywhere and pretty much in every sphere of life. So that is what is the magic of IT about. So IT and technology look synonymous, though they are not. Technology is beyond IT, but IT touches the life of most of the people on earth. So we kind of associate IT and technology together. Now, if you look at today's world, one thing is very sure, which you will all agree, the amount of technology entering our lives has increased humongously. And I think my generation has seen a pager to a smartphone, iPhone 10X, right? And I think I'm lucky to see that transmission. I've seen, that channel wala TV to a LED TV. So, I can keep on naming the things and we can keep up talking about them. But the technology transformation, what we have seen is humongous. But when we come to a topic like this and a talk like this, what are the 4 or 5 major technologies which are going to change the world? Well, no guess for, I don't think there are any marks for guessing that the first top of the mind is IoT, Internet of Things. Second, what I can think of is AI. We talked a lot about it in AI. Third is blockchain. The fourth, which is robotics. And there's a 5th element. I keep that 5th element to the last. So when I have 10 minutes, just I'll bring up the 5th element. So 5th element I keep to last because that is something which you will not find on Google, and you'll see a lot of people not talking about it, but that's definitely going to hit in a major time. Now, if you talk of IoT, the people ask me what is IoT. I tell them it's Internet of Things. Looks fancy, looks good, and next question is, what do I do with IoT and what exactly is IoT about? Well, I'm not trying to give jargon, sir. I'm trying to make it pretty simple, pretty straightforward. IoT is anything. When you have a connected device, we all are part of IT universe because we all have phones, they're connected to the net. The moment we hold and we are a part of a connected devices in our hand, we are part of the IoT. So is IoT an upcoming technology? Is it going to grow? Yes, we are all part of IoT. It's in our lives. It is touching everybody's life across the world because wherever there's an internet and there's a connected device, that person, that entity, that business is part of IoT. So IoT is the biggest thing. Second important question which people tell me, yeah, IoT might be big, it might be great because there are some facts, figures, I'll give you some data about it. But what is it in for me? What am I going to do out of it? Okay, there can be, today we have 3 times the connected devices of human population. Devices are connected to the net and it is going to go to 100 billion by 2025. Any Wi-Fi today holds around 18 devices, which is going to go to 60 or 17 times to come. But the $1 million question is, ladies and gentlemen, is what it has got to do for me, what I'm going to get out of it, right? Mere ko kya milega, right? What a person in Africa is going to get out of if you have 10 million or 5 million, how does it change his life in Somalia? Right, my friend? Well, I have the answer. Now let me talk about the power of IoT. We all know cars, we all are driving cars, right? There are billions of cars in the world. Now, according to the McKinsey, in next 7 years, with connected cars, now we have connected cars, we are connected to the internet. With connected cars only, we are going to generate, it looks mind-boggling, right? It looks, and we are going to transfer more than 300 trillion gigs of data in next 10 years to come per day. Now imagine the kind of optical fibers we need, imagine the kind of databases we need, imagine the kind of routers we need, imagine the kind of things we need. This is only cars, just cars. Now today, when I'm talking to you, they are IoT based business systems. If you put that business system in a building like this, it cuts the energy consumption by 50%. Can you imagine the world producing 50% more energy at zero cost? That's the power of IoT. It's directly revenue. Now, when these devices come, when these connected cars come, what do? They create employment, they create jobs, they create opportunities, right? So this is the power of IoT, what is going to happen. IoT is the biggest thing what is happening. I'll make it simple for you. What is an IoT device? It has 3-4 components. It's a sensor, it's a PCB board, it is a software stack, and it has a gateway which transmits the data. So without these 4 essential components, it's not a full IoT device. So these 4 components put in any device put together makes it a full IoT device. Now, we know what is the power of IoT, who doesn't know of the kind of data it's going to generate. The usual apprehension people have is it going to take jobs. I'm going to lose my job. No, it's going to create a different kind of jobs because the GDP of the globe is increasing, it's not decreasing. With coming of IoT, our global GDPs are increasing, it is not decreasing. Now the next logical step is because whenever technology comes, it's disruptive. Can you imagine, guys, friends, when electricity came? It was expensive, it was unpredictable. Could we imagine those days that if you look around us, we have wires going around everywhere, right? Short circuit is still a possibility, right? But do we bother about it? Look at my and your car. What is common in it? We have fuel and we have electricity in the same car and we are in the center of both the things. Do we bother about it? One more example. Look at the pacemaker. This much piece of metal. It is powered by electricity and keeps anybody's heart running and life breathing. Could you imagine that a few years back? Because that point of time, people thought, oil lamps or candles are more safe. So whenever a technology comes, what I'm trying to make, there are always going to be apprehensions about it. There are always going to be doubts around it. What is it going to do? So first thing is safe. Let's look at it because technologies have always made the life of human beings better. The second part of a logical progression. When we collect all this data, we're collecting millions and billions of bits of data every day because we're IoT devices. Where does the data go? What are we going to do with this data? Where to store this data? Next logical step is AI because this data gets all fed into AI. AI without IoT is a car without engine or a car without a petrol because AI is nothing without IoT. And when we talk of AI, there are only 2 things which people talk in the world. First, magician's new hat. You'll have the rabbit coming in. I will sit in front of a computer. All my problems in life are solved. Sorry, AI doesn't do that. Second thing, Terminator. Is the life of Terminator coming? So do I need to buy a gun? And do I need to build muscles? Should I see what does Arnold do? No, AI is not going to do that as well. So again, what I said, they will have apprehensions. AI, now the $1 million question, is AI already in my life?
Yes.
It's already in your life. When you buy from Amazon, I get different kind of notifications. My wife gets different kind of notifications. My teenage son gets different kind of notifications, and my father gets different kind of notifications. Now it's a combination of IoT plus AI. Now look at AI in. Let me take a very non-technical domain, retail. Let's say we're talking of we still buy let's say a suit. We go to a Raymond showroom. We have a good friendly salesman who tells me, "Sir, hi, how are you? This is the color we have. This is what you buy." Now when you go to a website, you start shopping. Realize one thing. We have a technological perception mapping, which most of the guys are going to install, are already developing around it. So when you start shopping, or when you enter the showroom, he's automatically, without human intervention, going to give you usually buy a black trouser, you buy a blue shirt, and you buy 3 of them, because they know your ticket size. They know how often you buy, when all you buy, what are the colors, and they'll also make a deal. There's no need of a discount, they will make a deal for you. You buy 5 shirts, I'll give you this discount. You may buy 10 shirts, I'll give you this discount. This will happen on the fly. What does this mean? We sell more or we sell less?
More.
We sell more. Somebody makes them, somebody grows about them, somebody stitches them, somebody transports them. Are we creating jobs or taking away jobs? Creating jobs. One more classical argument, people say, okay, Sumit, this is all business. But how does a person in Somalia or Ethiopia, developed by your Amazon or developed by your whatever? He has nothing to do. They don't have a Democratic Republic of Congo. No offense to any country. You look at the situation there. How is AI going to change his life? Well, AI also has social aspects. You know what? When AI is used by the pharmaceutical companies, what do? They do a couple of things. First of all, the clinical trials. Whenever you launch a drug, the clinical trials are more far and wide at a minimal cost. The interpretations, what you get from these clinical trials are fast and impeccable, right? The cost of making drugs reduces, the lifespan of making drug reduces. The cost of getting it to the other parts of the world reduces. More sales, more people get access to the cheaper medicine. That is what AI is doing as a social value. So AI has other values, it has legal, it has, AI was designed because first revolution, industrial revolution was about about coal. Second was about steam and electricity. The third is about technology. What will AI do? AI will take out the mental fatigue. First took out the physical fatigue. Now AI is going to take out our mental fatigue. Now, so AI, to conclude, because we're running out of time, we have all these consequences what we talked about, IoT and AI. I didn't bring up blockchain and I didn't bring up robotics because they don't touch everybody's life every day, but they're equally upcoming. They are part of the evolution, they're going to come. Now, what is the fifth element I talked about? The fifth element, friends, is insourcing. Because the amount of technology entering our lives is humongous. And you know what? Insourcing is outsourcing. See the amount of IT we can handle today on our own. Could we handle it 10 years back? Did we have access to so much? We handle so much of IT on our own. If I look at my house, my son is much better an IT expert or a technology expert than my father, right? And the insourcing follows the inverse pyramid. When outsourcing started from big corporates, G2000s, SMEs, mid-sides, and the individuals, well, the outsourcing follows the reverse cycle. Insourcing is individuals, boutique owners, small businesses, SMEs, G5000s, and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, a lot of Fortune 500 companies already have global insourcing centers. 54% of them have already global insourcing centers set in the world. And you know what? We all have an insourcing ambassador, which is always in our life. Anybody for guessing who the insourcing ambassador is? I give a hint. Yeah, you're right. The teenager at our home is the insourcing ambassador. My son knows how to put his things in his mother's cart, take up a phone, so when mother buys, he gets his things. When my mother cannot get her medical reports from an app, who will restart the app? Who will change the passwords? Who will get it working? It's my son. And when they are stuck with something, they don't look to me, they look to my son. So that's all what I have to say. So in the end, third industrial revolution is driven by technology. Technology has always made the human life better, good, impeccable. Let's be cautious but not be apprehensive. And there are no terminators and there's no magician's hat. Thank you very much. Thank you guys.